Okay, I had a whole intro, but I wasn't recording and I don't feel like doing it again. So we're doing a bookshelf tour today. These are my shelves. You can usually see most of them in my videos. Starting over here is what you just saw, the Wuthering Heights shelf. And it's too full right now to have them all kind of displayed how I want. So I need to figure out what I'm gonna do here. But like I want all their covers to show because they're beautiful. Then we have the Harry Potter / A Series of Unfortunate Events shelf. And I do plan on getting all of the Harry Potter books eventually, these covers. I don't know, I feel like to have, I don't hate Harry Potter. And I feel like if you're a book collector of any sort, it's just kind of standard to have the Harry Potter series. This is the third book that I was talking about that like you can't even read the spine. I got a new Bad Beginning, but I'm kind of weird and I'm like attached to this one because it was the original one that I got. So I kind of want to keep both. Then that looks kind of stupid, but whatever. This is my life. I'm a ridiculous person. Then down here we have some classics. Some that are kind of more modern classics. In Cold Blood, Love in the Time of Cholera, To Kill a Mockingbird, and stuff like that. Anne Frank. Again, I bought a new nice copy of The Diary of Anne Frank, but I have kept this garbage one just because that's the one I read first and I'm attached to it, I guess. And then a couple of Jane Austens. These are both Pride and Prejudice. They're just different editions that I liked. I need to reread this soon too. And then some of these super awesome Barnes & Noble hardcovers that I love. And my grandfather's glasses, or great-grandfather, never met him. He died when my grandfather was a child, and those are his. And then I also got these when I was home last time. So these are my grandfather's patches from when he was in the... These are from my other grandfather, this great-grandfather's son. It's broken and I need to glue it, but it's like a razor blade, like for shaving, but with this like cool etched thing. I don't know, but it's falling apart. And down here we get into some of my childhood books. These are kind of some of the favorites. Some E.B. White. The Face on the Milk Carton series, my God, I loved that when I was younger. And then the Julie of the Wolves series, also loved that. Some Little House on the Prairie, and then the Dear America, which quite a few of these are new because since last Christmas I've gotten like probably half of these as gifts and things and bought a couple for myself. I keep getting them used on Amazon and getting really great copies. This shelf is a bit random. It is mostly poetry and short stories, but some of my childhood books had to be squeezed down here. And this is just a middle grade that I haven't read yet, but it's down there too. And then my graphic novels, which I don't have that many, but Monstrous, Watchmen, and then Cheese Sweet Home, which are backwards, and that's driving me nuts right now. I plan on getting the rest of Cheese Sweet Home, and I think there's like 5 or something, and they're all about that big, so that'll kind of take up the rest of the shelf, I feel. This giant-ass Shakespeare, complete works of Shakespeare. I don't really know why I keep that. I'm not going to read it for leisure, but I don't know. I guess I like it. I like the edition. Then onto this bookcase. Up top is very sparse still. My Peace and Turmoil artwork, 2 of those things. I want to get this whole series, but this is as far as I've gotten so far. And then some just general adult fiction, the only like thrillers or mysteries that I own. And then the Cemetery of Forgotten Books series, except I need to fit the last one in there because I got it when I was in South Africa. So on this shelf, I have shown this before, postcards from Pakistan from Nashua, which I love. There's a couple of them there. Some little bookmark that I never use as a bookmark that says dream. I just think it's cute. So these little guys are new. These are from South Africa. This, I don't know, I like carved elephants, I guess. I just thought it was really cute. And this guy I liked because so we saw a lot of different like markets and souvenir shops that all had the same type of stuff that clearly was like mass produced somewhere. And then people are selling it like in a marketplace as if it's their like, you know, handcrafted wares. But it's like, dude, I've seen this like 17 times in this trip. But this little guy, I did not see anywhere except at this one little marketplace this guy was doing. And he said it's made out of banana leaves and that he made it himself. And I believed him because, like I said, I went to lots of souvenir places and never saw anything else like this. And it had some like strings coming off of it, like fibers coming off of it that I cut off. But yeah, it's a little elephant. He's so cute. I love him. My massive pile of magnetic bookmarks, because these are the only bookmarks I actually use. More Peace and Turmoil artwork. This cup that my dad made for me. He does woodworking, and like, how cool. I love it. Flowers from when my brother graduated from high school. One of these at least was from him on his graduation day. And then we have historical fiction, some of which I've read, some of which I have not. Except for Devil in the White City is technically nonfiction, but it reads like fiction, so I keep it there. And then some adult fantasy. Different kinds, but Peace and Turmoil, of course. The Amberlow dossier, which I've talked about. Love that series. Haven't read this. I have not read these two either. But yeah, then we have my Michael J. Sullivan, Legends of the First Empire. So I want to get these all in paperback and hardcover because I'm a freak. And when I reread the series, I want to reread the paperbacks. But I also want to have the hardcovers because I love this series and I want it to last me a long time. But right now, the first one is the only one that I have in both because of Delightful L buying me this one for my birthday. And then the Game of Thrones shelf. So in the back there, I have my map of the larger world of Game of Thrones. There's Westeros and Essos over here. Freaking love it. One of my best friends got this for me for Christmas a few years back, and she knows the way to my heart. And then the books from the series that I do own. I don't own the first two. I've read the first two from the library, and then I bought these clearly used to read, which I still need to do. I suck at life. These little dragon eggs of our babies here, it's candles, but I'm not going to burn them. And my coworker got those for me actually, just randomly. I was having a shit week a few months back, and he got me these little dragon eggs. And then The World of Ice and Fire, which I still need to get a replacement copy because it's still chewed up from the dog. And Fire and Blood, which I seriously want to reread already. I loved it. So, yeah, but I don't know what I'll do once I get the rest of the series. This shelf will have to change, but for now, this is what I've got. And down here on the bottom are more childhood books. These are more like chapter books and things. I've reread a few of these. Also, my Christmas books in here and my Jeanette Oak books. I got rid of quite a few of them, but some of them were like my favorite ones, and I couldn't part with them because even though I'm not into the whole Christian fiction thing anymore, I fucking loved Jeanette Oak when I was a kid. And here I have international money. that I've just over the years. This is from when my family and I went on a cruise my senior year of high school, which was my first time ever leaving the country and going on any kind of like actual vacation. And yeah, I've just always kept that and put money in it when I go places. Moving over to the corner, up top is more just general fiction, I would say. Kind of a mix of things, all my Ian McEwan, except for my paperback UK edition of Nutshell that I got in South Africa, and I still need to fit in there somewhere. And then some of my favorites here, some YA fantasy, YA dystopian. I mean, it's half the shelf is Hunger Games, as we can see. And I have full intentions of getting additional editions of the Hunger Games, because there's some that I've got my eye on. But for now, these are the ones. And this annoys me endlessly. I need to glue this. The box itself, like, kind of came apart. It's fine. Over here, the Seven Realms books, except for the one I just did in a wrap-up that I haven't put back yet. And then the Shattered Realms as well. And down here is mostly Sarah J. Maas, as we can see. We have the Throne of Glass, the Court of Thorns and Roses, which I finally have complete because I did not have this one for the longest time. And then the Conqueror's Saga, but we do have more of those over here. But yeah, this shelf kind of is like a continuation over this way. Because I ran out of room for my Kiersten White books, so I just transferred them over here. I also plan on, I actually don't know what I plan on for the Throne of Glass series, because as you can see, I have half of it in paperback and half of it in hardcover. And I think I want to get both also for this, but every time I think that to myself, I just think, Joshana, that's ridiculous. But like, I want it, so I'm probably going to do it. And underneath that, we have kind of our paranormal, I guess. Yeah, I guess paranormal or urban fantasy type stuff. Mostly the Sookie Stackhouse series, which I am intending to get all of this in hardcover. But then every time I reread it, I realize how easy it is to read the little mass market paperbacks. I have a problem, clearly, because like I want to have this in both as well. Pretty much everything on here is vampire related, except for Red Hill, which is actually a pretty good book, but it's zombies. And I actually thought it was, I thought it was pretty good. And down here are a few books that are religion related or mythology, Norse mythology being one of them, and then some writing reference books. And the final bookcase. Up top here, we have mostly YA contemporary, but then there's a little bit of like new adult contemporary right here. These are all like, I think at least this, I mean, I know this is like romance, sexy time and stuff. I haven't read it yet, but, and then yeah, just YA contemporary, which there's not a lot of because you guys know I don't love it. And I've read all of these except for Anger is a Gift. I need to get to this. Moving down, we have more YA fantasy. Who is surprised? The Grishaverse trilogy. I need to reread that. I really want to reread that because it's been so long. It was well before it was on BookTube. And I read the Six of Crows duology and didn't feel like I loved it as much. But now I'm like, did I love the Grishaverse trilogy all that much? I don't know. We'll see. Children of Blood and Bone. I have not read this one. I have not read Amber and the Ashes. And I have not read these two here, City of Dark Magic and The Seventh Moon. This is one that I got in the Philippines by a Filipino author. The rest of these, though, I have read and enjoyed, generally speaking. One that I've considered getting rid of is Star-Crossed, but I want to read the rest of the series before I make a decision, but I'll read those from the library. Moving on down behind my sign here, we have got some YA fantasy, but then some adult as well. So like I said, my Kiersten White books kind of carried over from here because I have these in hardcover, and then Elle got me the paperbacks with these super cool covers. Love it. And I do own Slayer, even though I didn't like it, but I had pre-ordered it, I believe, and it is a signed copy. And I love Kirsten White still, so I'm going to keep it. Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein, which I freaking loved. I think that's also signed. I'm pretty sure most of my Kirsten White books are signed, because after the first one, I was like, oh my god, I love. And then some more adult. The Night Circus I honestly haven't read in forever. Fucking Dark Dawn. I'm gonna give these away, so this will free up some space. I'm keeping Nevernight because I actually really liked Nevernight. And if I ever reread it, I'm just gonna think of my own ending, basically. But I have God's Grave and Dark Dawn that are both signed first editions, I do believe, and I'm gonna give them to Stephanie at This Unicorn Reads. And my precious Parasol Protectorate series that I need to reread. This is adult paranormal. There's vampires and werewolves and things, and I freaking love it. And then this isn't fantasy, but Jane Steele. It's a Jane Eyre retelling that I fucking love. And down here we have all of the Pusheen Funkos. Hello. There's still 2 that I need to get, but I've got most of them. And then we have this is kind of a weird shelf. Over here is like sci-fi. And I guess it's kind of a sci-fi shelf, sort of. But Wonder Woman is kind of random. I just didn't really have anywhere else to put it. And Scythe, I think, is like a dystopian, right? I haven't read Scythe. I haven't read Zenith either, but I know that's sci-fi. Station 11 is like a dystopian. I don't know. This shelf is weird. There's not even that many books on it. And down here, we have my nonfiction, which includes some that are like memoirs and things like that. Biographies. That's mostly what it is like memoirs and biographies. But I do have some, like the history of South Africa, Cuba between Reform and Revolution. Some that's just like nonfiction about like places and things. And there we have it. My bookshelves. It is forever growing. And sometimes I have like awkward shelves because I like to keep them in genre. But like my adult fantasy, I've read a lot more than that, obviously. And there's various series that I want to start buying. But I'm definitely going to need another bookcase pretty quickly, I would say. Because I do have some room, but like I said, I can't just start putting adult fantasy with the general fiction. Like, I can't do that. That's crazy talk. All right, that's all. Talk to you guys later. Bye.